Hey you guys, welcome back. I think you saw some mini montage of me walking here. It is the day after our HOA board meeting, the community board meeting. It's a beautiful day, late afternoon. I guess this is why we have to pay the California sunshine tax. It's a beautiful day out here. Without going complete full details, I do want to share kind of what's been happening. I think first and foremost, like my friends in the legal area said, this is my opinion and my opinion only. So for what it's worth, as usual, I'm not trying to be arrogant, not trying to be whatever else, but if you don't enjoy my videos, just stop, move on, because again, these couple weeks is going to be about the community here at where I reside. A little bit more scripted this time because there are a couple key points I need to make sure I address. The meeting started to be pretty dramatic. There were some exchanges between our board members and our residents. There were a little bit of jab here and there. Definitely passionate on both sides. But with all that being said, though, what really didn't sit well was the fact that, the language of if there's a lawyer that's involved, they would come right back at us. Where, it's almost strong arming, like, hey, you know what? You mess with us, we're going to come right back at you. And that's not very neighborly. Even in the heated discussion, as we are all neighbors, to really highlight that in a broad scope of meeting like that, I think that's not very tasteful. But again, that's just me thinking. Additionally, the board will kind of stand up and saying that if there are any type of negativity or any type of directed at some individuals and so forth, as a group, they will not stand for that, and they will absolutely go to war with that individual or group. That just almost strike as a confrontation. These are not made up. These were factual events that occur during that last night's meeting. But to get to some of the more logistic aspects, I personally asked 3 questions. There were multiple good questions and good feedback, and some of my other vlogs will address those. But the couple main things I would really want to address is that while I asked my questions, I really did not get a definitive answer. For example, you probably could hear it, if not see it. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. But the lightsabers are up, meaning that the arms are up, and they're lit green. One of my first questions was, when will those barriers be activated? Because they are working, they're just not activated. To be very specific, as I stated. And long story short, it was, and I apologize if I didn't quote it correctly, but the essence is they will be activated when they are activated. But along those lines, there was a host of going back and forth, like, you got to make sure there's safety, to make sure there's not Okay, I get it, I do. But shouldn't all that have been done 2 years ago? That type of assessment, to come back to say that, we're kind of verifying to make sure safety aspects. There are arm barriers. They are in many public places. But okay, but just the aspects of how much time is taking and still going on. And I was actually invited to attend a inspection, for say, or continue working it through. It was supposed to be this AM. Let me assure you, no email, no text, no phone call, no anything. So that was for say, non-deliverable. So that's just the gate itself. So let's move on. Then the next question I asked was that $108,000 deficit for 2023. I even provided an additional perspective because there were some, things saying that it could have been a excess, not a deficit. I asked that question. Right away, the manager from PMP stepped up and said, well, we have a new treasurer, so they don't know the full context of it or whatever. Okay, yes, we do have a new treasurer. However, the prior treasurer for the past 12 months was sitting in that meeting. And no replies, no anything. So, didn't get the answer. It's just like they have to go through the review, and the new treasurer has to get situated and understand the financials. Fair enough, but again, sorry, that didn't tick my box, nor tick other people's boxes. So as of current, under official records, we ran a $108K deficit. Now the question is, why? Even if it's an excess, if it's an income, then let us know. But then the part comes where even if it was an excess, we never knew about it. So I again, if this particular body is promoting transparency, it's absolutely very, very opaque, especially the financials. The audit as an agenda item, I don't think it was discussed. It was discussed very lightly. That the audit's going on. It takes a long time. A year to 2 years audit. We are a community. It's not like a corporation can get through an audit within 6 months. You telling me the accounting firm that we hire cannot get through our financials within a reasonable amount of time, 6 to 12 months? That's hard, because it's just like that kind of proves out, like, and provide validity that we're not very transparent. So that's a problem. That's an absolute problem for us. It's a challenge. It just is. Then comes where, I know the feedback's probably going to be, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He has no clue. He just doesn't know the facts. He just don't know. He doesn't know. You're right. I do not know. I have no clue, because the transparency is not there. I don't know when the gate will actually be, the barriers actually be activated. I don't think anyone does. Actually, they're activated, but what I mean is working. Ask a clear-cut question of what happened. Is it a deficit or is it not? Never answer the question. So these are things that's very concerning, especially when one of the key aspects is promoting transparency and broad communication. Well, I'm not going to continue ramping on, because I think one of the things I learned is that let's not keep just regurgitating, but this is a kind of the gist of what's happening in our community. And I think this is the last thing I want to add. So our meeting, the general session, what they call, where everyone can attend, is open kimono, everyone can be there. It went to 6:30. And at 6:30, the liaison from PFP, hey, it's that time, we need to pause. And you know what? I'll give credit where credit's due. There was a board member that stated, hey, let's just keep going, let's power through it. But there was oppositions within the board group saying, nope, we need to come back. Fair enough. You got to stay on course and do their actions. I completely can respect that. But here's the part that's troubling. 15 minutes turned to half an hour. Half hour turned to an hour. Hour turned to an hour and a half. 2 hours. It took them 2 hours to come back. So for a home resident like me, I stayed online for 2 hours to come back for, say, the general session. We came back for an encore of 3 to 5 minutes. So we waited 2 hours to observe an additional 3 to 5 minutes. You want to talk about efficiency? Help me understand that part. Yes, it's been a long night for you guys. I get it. You guys are volunteers. And, you know, if we're going to sit there for the full duration, I think we should be transparent and let everyone see what's going on. So anyways, okay. So that's it for today. But I would sum it up in saying that, hey, I really appreciate all of you guys out there that's really watching my vlogs. You know, like I said in one of my communications, you know, I was actually suspended over the weekend on Nextdoor, and Nextdoor thought, whoever it was that reported me, thought that was my only platform to really broadcast a message. Little do they know, they did really help me out. I really appreciate it, because traditionally, I'm not gonna deny it, my viewing was fairly low. What I mean by that, I had some pops here and there. I got like average of 250 viewers, you know, per video. Nothing major, right? Because at the end of the day, this is just a hobby for me. But you know what? With everything going on, because I honestly believe it, with that being pulled, people became inquisitive of our story here at Northwood. And if you look at even the Nextdoor posts, which I went back and I post one as of today, within 6 hours, we got about 1,500 views on that post. But on my videos, thank you guys. Thank you guys, because some of my videos even got up to 4,000. Look, for most other YouTubers, that's a petty number. For me, a dad, that's phenomenal. I'm ecstatic. You know, I really appreciate it. And the good part is, it took me a long time to try to get over that 3,000 hump. With your assistance, I'm over 3,000 and I'm still building momentum. So I really appreciate you guys that staying tuned and listening to my message. Everything I've stated is very factual. While there's some opinions, that's Larry's opinion, but the events that have occurred and the time sequence that has occurred is factual. I'm sure you can request the minutes to review that, but anyways, hey, continue to stay on. I really appreciate it. This is a longer one. I promise I'm going to try to keep it short. But till the next one, and it is coming. Till then, peace out.